Hi, I'm Janine. Thanks so much for watching. It's the beginning of January. That means that some of us are setting goals. And I am going to set a couple of sewing goals, so I'm going to talk about that in this video. Plus, I'm going to share with you some sewing challenges for January and others that are for the full year, some of which I'm going to try and some that you might be interested in. I'm not a particularly successful January goal setter. I don't like to come up with a bunch of resolutions because we all know that they generally fail. I think I read once that 90% of resolutions fail by Super Bowl Sunday, which is the first weekend of February. Or maybe it was that if you make it to Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to be successful in your resolution. Both about the same thing. So I have not set a bunch of resolutions this year, but there are a few things that I want to challenge myself with. Last year, halfway through the year, I decided that I was going to stop sewing things that didn't go with anything else and just start sewing basics. So that was a goal that I set in the middle of the year, and it worked out really well. And I think for many of us, it's better to set a goal when the time is right rather than based on a calendar. But there are a few things that I'm going to try for 2023. Online, there are a lot of people who are posting a ton of goals, and I'm just not prepared to do that. But I did find in an email, and I'm going to post the link down below in the description, Bernina has put together a list of sewing goals that you can print out. And there are just 3 project goals, 3 techniques to try, and then you can make some other notes, set a few other goals, but then they've also got a little chart and you can check off how many weeks you sewed during the year. So very simple, not too complex, don't need to think about it too much. So I went through that. I did set a few goals. My 3 goals that I wrote down for projects. The first one is to perfect pants. I know that's not going to happen this year, but I feel like last year in 2022, I made a really great start with the top-down, center-out method. And certainly what I made was not perfect, but it was wearable, and that was a huge leap. So hopefully this year I'll get a little bit closer. And specifically, what I would like to learn to make this year is nice woven pants with pockets and maybe some other features. And I would like to also find and adjust a pattern for knit pants that would be quick, easy to sew, weekend kind of wear, evening, hang around the house kind of knit pants. So that's project 1. Project 2 is I want to de-stashify my patterns. In the past year, I've picked up a lot of patterns. I've bought a lot of patterns online and at like charity sales. And I don't really think I want to have 200 patterns. I'd rather have 30 patterns that I love. So I want to get rid of a lot of my patterns so it's easier to make decisions. And so I'm not wasting a lot of time looking at patterns. I know that I want to have something in my pattern stash that is a quick decision. No more flipping through pages and pages and pages of patterns online. The third project is to continue with wardrobe basics. Things that go together. And my style, I think I've kind of settled on, is elevated casual. So things that work well in an office or if you're going out, but are also super appropriate if you're just going out for dinner or even if you're just hanging around the house. So those are my 3 project goals. 3 techniques to try. I've written down 3 things and they're pretty simple. The first is linings. I want to know how to properly do linings so they work, especially with pants, because I'd like to make woven pants that have a lining. Second technique is applique. I love applique. I think it's great for home dec projects, and I've been to 1 class. It didn't stick, so I need to make another attempt at learning applique. And the third technique is to improve my zipper insertion abilities. And those are all the goals that I set for this year. Again, I don't want to set myself up to fail, so I picked things that are appealing and achievable, yet some of these are going to require me to learn some new skills and techniques and spend some time mastering things. So I think those are good goals. I can't remember SMART goals, time sensitive, manageable, achievable. Anyways, I think that these 6 little goals that I've set are good for the year. Are you setting any goals for 2023 for your sewing projects? If you are, and if you'd like, maybe you could note them down below in comments, and we can cheer each other on or hold each other accountable, and then maybe in June we can take a look back and see how we're all doing. See if we've managed to achieve any of our goals, or if we've just said, no, I don't want to do these things. I want to learn to bake cakes instead. I'm sick of this. So if you'd like to do that, I think it might be just an interesting thing to look forward to come June, because it'll be June before we know it. Sewing challenges. There are many sewing challenges for January, and some of these challenges are the full year. So I'm just going to really quickly go through these, and I'm going to put information, if you want to find out more details, down in the description. Most of these are Instagram challenges. I do look for other challenges, but they're just hard to find. I think so many people who sew are now using Instagram all the time, just because it's quick and it's easy, and it doesn't come with some of the complications of things like Facebook or going to web pages. But very quickly, I'm just going to go through challenges. And the first one is one that I have decided I'm going to do. And that challenge is called Sew Thoughtful. And it's 52 weeks of sewing thoughtfulness. The Instagram account So Little Time is going to be posting weekly prompts, and you can just think about them, or you can post what you're thinking about them. And it's really just, I believe the intention is for us to just slow down and be more mindful with our sewing and with our makes, rather than just pushing towards a goal. So I thought that was kind of an interesting and different and more gentle way to jump into the year. So that's one I'm going to do. That's So Thoughtful. The next challenge is the regular monthly My Makes for the Month challenge, which is hosted by So Much to Design. That's Lou Schaefer. January is Joyous January, and if you want to participate in that one, you post a one-page collage of your makes on Instagram by the end of January, and there are a ton of prizes for that one. Always like 10 plus prizes. Third challenge is Sewing Plans 2023, and that's hosted by Minerva.com, Minerva the fabric company in the UK. You can post on their Instagram account or on their website. You just post what you're planning to sew. It can be a sketch, it can be an idea, or whatever. You post by the end of January, and there's a prize. I think it's 100 pounds worth of Minerva exclusive fabric, and they do ship worldwide. Then there is another challenge called New Year, New Projects, New Challenge. It's a January challenge, and you share your first project plan. Now, this is hosted by the Instagram account Stash Hub. And Stash Hub is an app that allows you to track your fabric stash and your sewing projects. And if you win this one, you get a year of Stash Hub Plus. I haven't looked at this app. I am going to look at it. But if you're interested in this one, just go to their account and post your first project plan for 2023. Then we have another regular monthly challenge, which is Make a Garment a Month. This is an Instagram challenge, and the inspiration for January is Jumpstart January. That can be anything. A jumpsuit, a jumper, jumping into your stash, something that's going to jumpstart your sojo. And you just post your pictures by the end of January. There are no prizes. It's just an accountability and motivation challenge, and it's very popular. Then we have another challenge that's new. It's called Sew Fancy Pants. It's Instagram, and you're supposed to sew pants that make you feel fancy. You post them by the end of January, and there will be one random prize drawn. So if you're thinking about making pants, there's a way to get a quick start in January. Then there is one called the Fabric Weight Loss Challenge. Yeah, it's a weight loss challenge. It's January. But the goal of this one is to lose weight in your stash. So you post your goal for the number of pounds that you want to lose in your fabric stash, and so away the year, getting rid of those pounds in your fabric stash. And it is an accountability challenge, no prizes. Then we have So What Sustainability Challenge, and that is hosted by Fabric Mart Fabrics in the States. So I suspect this is just open to people in the US. The goal is to sew something with your leftover holiday project scraps or rework a bad gift. The prize is given out 1st of February, and it is a Liberty of London Cotton's 10-yard mystery fabric bundle. You might be able to enter that from outside of the US, but you'd probably have to pay shipping and possibly duties. Then one of the big challenges every year is Make 9, where you put together a grid of 9 things that you plan to make this year. Some people do beautiful little drawings of 9 garments they want to make, or they have 9 patterns they want to try, or 9 pieces of fabric, or a combination of any of those. And this is just a motivational challenge that goes on all year. So people post their Make 9 now, and then at the end of the year they're saying, I made my 9, or I did not make my 9. And it's global, and it's very popular. Then the last challenge I found is called Get Set Sew, and these are monthly challenge. Every month there's a different theme. It's hosted by Start to Stitch, and this is an Instagram and a Facebook challenge. There are going to be monthly challenges announced at the beginning of each month. For January, the challenge is UFOs and USOs. So unfinished objects and unstarted objects. And it's another motivational challenge. So I hope some of those might spur you on to try something different this month, or maybe to set some goals for the year, or maybe you just say, screw it, I'm going to do whatever I want. So, again, I'm going to do the So Mindful 52-week challenge. I may post on Instagram, I may not. I may just use that time when the inspirations are uploaded every week to just kind of think about what I'm doing. I am trying to be more mindful this year, and more zen, and more calm, and be more focused. So that's what I have for you today. I'll be back in a couple of days with my makes from our New Year's holiday. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see a lot of you in 2023. I wish you all a happy, healthy, prosperous, fun, productive 2023.